We're going live.
We are going live.
Go on,
going, guys.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Almost
That's
didn't
good.
realize
Happy
it was
Friday.
That's okay. We always just kind of go until we'll wing it. And
we're going live. This is the whole going live, man. Just show up.
There we go.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable being uncomfortable.
I'm like, whoa, look at the time.
Yeah, just gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, it's another week here, and we're going live, and we're all just hopping on to kind of get our social media presence up, and Cali actually explains it better, so maybe I'll let him go for it.
All right. Cool, man. Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna get a kick out of this because every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks I've been like, what week are we now? So I'm just gonna go with we're between week 15 and week 20. So I can say it for about 2 more times, and then it's gonna go week 20 to week 25. Yeah, man. So anyone tuning in, thanks a lot. By the way, happy to have you here. Please get involved by throwing some comments in, questions, things that you want us to kind of talk about. We decided to get together, the group of us, and kind of joint venture on going live because we were all kind of, lacking the social media presence. And we realized through our mentorship and training how important and how much value this whole thing adds to whatever it is we're doing, because a lot of what we're doing requires people needing to know what we're up to so that they can get involved in some of the projects we're working on. And also, it also encourages other people who are, where we were a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a few years ago, who want to kind of, approach this journey of real estate investing and or whatever business you're in, where you want to just, have that presence. And so, yeah, we're here for you, and we're here for ourselves as well. So we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. I'm Cali. I'm out of the GTA. I'm investing in this year specifically flips and assignments. It just so happened that it's mostly flips right now. The assignments aren't really they're all right. I'm not on target for my quarterly assignment goals, but for the flips, we're doing pretty good, thanks to Shawn and majority. But I'm doing flips in the GTA. I'm doing flips in Moncton. I'm really willing to invest wherever it makes sense. So if you want to talk to me more about that on a one-on-one, just reach out to me at on Instagram at Grow with Cali, or even you can call me there 207-5316 area code 289, or you can find me on Facebook, Cali Braithwaite. So I'm glad to be here with you guys. And why don't you guys give yourselves an introduction and let everyone know how to get a hold of you and what's going on in your world?
Right. All right. So I'm Shawn Gunther, and I'm actually out of the Moncton, New Brunswick area, as Cali so stated there. And I'm focusing mostly on wholesales, but I mean, we are looking to expand all the time and bring more people on with the team. Anybody definitely looking to buy, sell, or invest here, give me a shout. You can reach me at 506-800-4289 or on Instagram at the Moncton Wholesaler, and then of course on Facebook, just Shawn Gunther. But yeah, so how about you? Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, did I freeze?
No, you're there.
Yeah, nice. Brad Plume. Currently, the main focus is on flips right now. We just finished up with one, and now I just started into another one. And like I said, anytime I get into a flip, it turns out that I end up getting into structural-related issues. This is no different. So basically, the entire front quarter of a house is coming off because of rot. But it's lots of fun all the time. But working in Grey Bruce area as well as the KWC areas too. Hit me up anytime. 519-379-7911 is my cell, and at brad.plume on Instagram.
Awesome. Guys, what's going on? Maybe I'll just kind of lead the way here and just tell everyone what I'm up to, and then you guys can kind of hop on and let's just talk about whatever kind of pops up here. But this week has been an interesting week. It's been a short week. So it's a lot of follow-up for me this week. I have a couple big flips locally, one in Toronto, one in Peterborough. I've spoken about previously on this live, because it's not like the TV show. Anyone watching it doesn't just all go from start to finish in the matter of 20 minutes minus commercials, right? So it's these things take weeks sometimes, right? And a lot of planning, a lot of
wrong contractors, thank you.
Yeah, I guess I need to get. I need a referral, Brad. I need a referral, man.
Yeah, right.
I gotta get you.
Same every time.
Yeah.
It sounded like an offer, Cali. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes I wish it was that easy, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, right now we're just dealing with mostly buying like materials and stuff, buying faucets, taps, dealing with appliances, dealing with some of the delays. Actually, pretty cool, man. I started buying some of my taps and stuff off of Amazon, and wow, I'm impressed. I mean, we'll see how it goes once they're installed, and if the house doesn't take a hit because someone's like, "Hey, that's from Amazon," but they look good. They seem like they're going to work well. I'll see how that goes when we install them. But yeah, anyone out there, don't think that you're limited to the big box stores or even just brick and mortar stores. This whole virtual world, you can buy so many things there. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on this week. How about you guys?
That's crazy. I actually just want to kind of talk about what you were talking about, because you mentioned faucets and things like that. And I've gone to stores where you get into these higher end faucets and stuff like that, and they can be thousands of dollars. So I mean, I'm interested to see what your Amazon reviews are for once you got everything installed and kind of test them out or whatever. But I remember going to one place when I was looking for faucets just for the flip that I was doing, and they're I thought it was oh, okay, a local, try to support local and whatever boutique shop, and just for a shower, for shower, trim faucet and shower head and all that. It was somewhere in the region of $5,500. And I was oh, well, that's definitely no mowing that you go pick up for a couple $100, right? So it can get ridiculous. And I understand too. We had this conversation, I think, in the flip that you do is pretty high end. So you're going for more of the high end finishes too. So
yeah, well, this one, okay, so the high end flip, that's how I decided to actually buy these off of Amazon, because we're buying high end material for the high end flip. But this other flip is not a high end flip, so I can not cheap out, but I don't need premium name brand faucets and taps, right? Because I was close to pulling the trigger, because I was hey, I'm already here, saving some time. Let's just buy the stuff that's right in front of me that's way overpriced. And before I stepped in there, I was I would never buy that, right? But because I was partnered with, so my partner is more experienced at working on these higher end kind of flips, and introduced me to this whole idea of, buyers at this level are going to point out, hey, that's a Moen. Moen's low grade. You need the Ryobel, which is I think Moen owns Ryobel, but it's a higher brand, right? You're talking $1,500, $2,000 for the shower trim. So we're in there, and I'm
between Ford and Lincoln.
Exactly, right? So as I'm there, sometimes you catch yourself, you're you got to stay in your lane, right? So I was there, and I was getting ready to, start dishing out the money for my flip that wasn't a high end flip, just because it was I'm drinking the Kool-Aid kind of thing, and I'm hold on 1 second, what's going on here? Let me just take a break.
Going to a rap concert and starting trying to make it rain.
Exactly. I think who is it? Kevin Hart had a pretty good joke. He has a little skit about that, just staying in your lane, when he was going around with the NBA players or the big ballers, how the money that they're spending. And then he's hold on, I don't think I got that kind of money. I can't be doing that, right? But yeah, anyway, Amazon. Brad, how are you, man? What's going on, brother? We know you're dealing with rotting houses. That's not good. I hope it's not the one in Kitchener.
Oh, it sure is, man.
Oh, no. Jeez, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? It's crazy. I just saw on my Instagram about it today. Literally, this fixed. Well, because there's something else that's up as well, but it's it just adds to things to work on and stuff. But like we're talking like a $7,000 fix right now. That
Oh, wow.
literally, if the roofers or the siders, whoever it was at the time, it all depends on when the house was built, whether the roofs were put on first and then the siding came on, or what. Like it just depends on how they like making it happen. But
Right.
a small piece of kick out flashing for a roof line that came down to the edge of a window, which would have been a $2 piece, would have saved almost like $7,000 to $10,000 bill at the end of the day, and avoided
Wow.
all this happening. So it just goes to show you, like when you're looking at trying to find guys to do work on your stuff, and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, it's okay, I can find the guy who's just a general handyman who can do a few things and it'll look just good enough. Just know what it is that you're having them do, and know whether or not that specific job that they're working on is within a skilled parameter in which they're working on it, right? Because like you just never know. Sometimes it's hiring that person who has the ability to that knows things, that knows that, oh hey, all this would take is this, and we're going to put this down the run, right? Whereas you could have been just a new roofing company or a new siding company that just came in, or it just could be the standard like builder stuff where they're just like slap it together, get her done, right? You never know, right? But there's a lot to be said about somebody who has some knowledge and has some skill when it comes to doing certain things to prevent a long-term loss in the end or something along those lines, right?
Like they say, beauty is only skin deep, right? So the roof looks real good, shingles look good, but structurally they're missing parts. You know what I mean? I think the big thing is we talk about this a lot. You hear it a lot, but referrals, right? One of the advantages of having a referral is somebody had it done already, so they're living in a place that they have proof that whatever these guys or this company did for them worked, right? So how did you find that? How did you? Because we walked through that property several times and we didn't smell anything or see.
It's funny because when we walked through and there was a lot of stuff in the way, right? So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be hidden that you don't see. But the biggest thing that I found was when I was taking up the flooring that existed, I noticed that there was some rot on the subfloor.
Okay.
Which then led me down. That led me down the path of, okay, let's look at this a little further, see where this goes, and see how much stuff has happened. And I didn't think personally I'd get in there and find the amount of damage that was there, but sure enough, you open things up and the extent of damage was there. The crazier part about it was that somebody else had already been there, done a repair on it, not a good repair by that end, but then covered it all up, but still didn't address the main issue that was the main cause of why it was happening.
Right.
So, that's why I say it goes to show you, like, hire some guys and get some guys in and they'll do a fix on something. But if they don't have the know-how or the skill or knowledge to actually go, or the forethought to go, okay, why did this happen? Where did it come from? How do we fix it or prevent it from happening further? And, literally, you're talking like a $2 piece of trim. And then the problem solved, right? It's just,
that's crazy.
It's one of those things, right? So
yeah. Well, it shows you, like, when you take on, or not you, but we or whoever takes on a flip, that's some of the risks that we get exposed to, right? And that's why, we know, like, when you take on a flip, that's how you make the money, right? Is that, sometimes you get these things, sometimes you don't get these things, but you have to know going in that there's potential, that there's some unforeseen issues that you could be faced with. And that's why some people choose to or not to flip, right? So yeah, I can definitely.
The other thing I'll make a point to that is, Cali, is like, this is where the guys who like, this is why sometimes I struggle with flipping, right? Because if you talk to the general public as a whole and you go, oh yeah, in a house, their assumption is it's just going to be a cheap, put together, slap together piece of junk thing that they're just like, oh, you're just trying to make a big buck at the end of the day, right? Whereas the reality of it is that true flippers or guys who are in construction or run this as an actual business, like, you're going to expose and unearth things that need to be addressed, and you're going to make sure that those things are fixed and repaired. I look at this one right now. I easily could have just covered that back up, and nobody would have ever been the wiser until one day all of a sudden we started pulling out of the house because the structure was so rotten, right? Like,
right.
Or the amount of black mold that was in there. Heaven forbid, some kid ends up in that bedroom and ends up getting like some sort of health issue because of it, right? Like,
right.
You always make sure that whenever you're doing anything that you're never covering anything up. If you find something, you keep there and you fix it properly, and then at the end of the day, you're presenting and off a product that is substantially well done to the next individual, even if it means at the end of the day you have to pay it, right? And that's
right.
the key difference between somebody who's a quality flipper and somebody who's let's just put new flooring in and paint it and call it good, right?
Can I take a moment? Can we throw up Brad's name on the screen again? Anyone in the Grey Bruce area, KWC, looking for an active partner who is going to put some passion and pride behind the work, call out your boy, Brad Plume. 519-379-7911. 911. How'd you get that in your number, Brad? That's crazy, man. How fitting is that? Yeah.
Well, and like, I think, I like what Brad's saying there too, because I mean, I think it's a lot of people come from the perspective like, hey, if you're going in to do a flip, you're just trying to make as much money as possible, right? Like, and everybody's, homeowners, especially in these markets where it's a hot market, there everybody wants top dollar, right? And they'll think that somebody going in to flip a property who's offering a lower amount is just trying to make more money. But I mean, of course, we're all trying to make some money, but you have to mitigate your risk as much as possible when you're going into these situations. Like, I remember going to one place where the buddy had like one of the ceilings open. You could tell all the copper piping was about to start cracking and like actually blowing the copper, and he was like, oh, whatever, just put some drywall up, cover it up. And I'm like, no, that's not really what you do, right? Like, you know what I mean? I think you have to have that kind of integrity, and well, at least I would hope most people have that kind of integrity when they're potentially selling something to somebody for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
Well, not just that, this is where people live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, when you think about like the safety, the impact, like, people are living there. They're breathing in this thing. There's kids in there, whatever. It doesn't matter your age. I mean, if you're going to provide a product that is dangerous for someone or that could potentially hurt or fatally, harm somebody down the road, like what does that say about you? To save some time or save a few bucks, right? I think the impact that we can make as flippers is, by improving the neighborhood, improving the housing. I think that's kind of where we feel good. It's like, okay, yes, I made some money while I did it, but I know I did a good job. Yeah, and I'm not gonna, like, that house isn't gonna be on the news 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and I was the last guy doing the work on it, right? Yeah. Or if it was that it was an honest mistake. Like, mistakes do happen, and that's why you have insurance, right? But you don't willfully try to hide or do things incorrectly, because I think that's just shady.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, we're there to develop and build and give a high quality product for what building is at the end of the day for the end, right? Like, that's where my goal lands. So, I want to make sure that anybody that comes into a property that I've worked on knows that, hey, what that they did is like top notch. And it just goes to show you that you really vet who you have coming in and doing stuff as well, because there's tons of properties where we've gotten into things and you start taking things apart because you're going to do that cosmetic reno where, okay, to rip out something or take apart a wall to rearrange some electrical or plumbing or something along those lines, right? And then somebody's been there before, and you kind of go, ugh, like, where did these guys come from? And hopefully they're not still in business, or hopefully they learned from their mistake and actually got better at what they were doing. Like that's I think the biggest struggle. And right now, I would say now is the most difficult time to actually find good quality contractors, because everybody right now is in the middle of a build. It seems like this is like prime time for, like, everybody decided to do a renovation. So everybody and their brother decided they're going to be a contractor, you know, and I hope a lot of people don't get kind of screwed over in that sense. But, you know, that's where you don't rush in to just hire some random person because they're just available, right? Do some due diligence and look into things a little further before you have anybody do any major work. You know?
I'm looking for a golden nugget here, guys. I hope you guys can help me out. Okay, we mentioned referrals. I think referrals is so important when finding, you know, a contractor, whoever it is you're working with, to do work on a project for yourself or for somebody else. But what would you say is another piece of advice, a must-do? What do you look for? What signs can you use to help you kind of navigate who is experienced and who's not? Because not everybody knows. Not everybody has done the work. Not everybody can understand what's really involved. So there's a lot of trust. It's like going to a mechanic, right? Yeah. If you're not a car person and you're taking your car to the mechanic, you have to put a lot of trust in the mechanic that they're going to do the right thing. They're going to do what they say they're going to do. So is there any advice that you have outside of just the referral for somebody working for the contractor?
Well, if you know what you're talking about and you know roughly how it is, that's a good way to kind of determine whether they know what they're talking about too, right? But in the situation where if you don't necessarily know what it is that they'll need to be doing, it can be a little difficult, especially if they know more than you and seem like they know what they're talking about. You know, that kind of can get you in trouble here and there as well too. Like Brad probably has a better perspective than me on this, but I found that that's the best way that you can do it right now, is referrals, or at least know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like referrals are always good, and then dealing with somebody who has an actual, you know, I say this with a grain of salt because I did a lot of work without an actual business as well, but somebody who has an actual business and is established, because I myself has been in a lot of situations where I've hired somebody to do something. I've had conversations with them. They've spoke back to me very clear on their knowledge and very clear on what seems to be their ability. And then days later you come back and go, oh, like what happened? And you realize that, oh, okay, they knew how to talk the talk, but they couldn't walk the walk, right? And it's just, you know, it is one of those trades that it is very difficult to navigate through. And referrals is definitely good, but then also, like, you know, guys who are established as a company, they're going to come to you with a scope of work, and they're going to explain everything, and they're going to go through the process with you on how it should be done. And they're going to have a contract in which you can follow, and you can follow up with them during the process and say, oh, hey, what happened? What did we do this? How did this go? What happened here? And they'll very openly explain it to you, explain what's going on. You start having guys where that are like, whoa, don't bother me until I'm finished the job. And then, you know, you'll just love the product. You know, those are the guys you want to stay away from, because if they're not willing to, like, do step-by-step walkthrough on a regular basis on their job site with you, how everything is happening, then, you know, there's questions to be said on, well, are they doing what they actually said that they're doing if they're not willing to actually go step-by-step through the project and on site with me?
Yeah. Well, and another thing, too, that you can do anyways, is just find smaller jobs that they can do, right? That aren't going to really break the bank for you, and that you can kind of test them on if they're willing to kind of do those jobs, right? Like, I mean, but you know, especially in this market now where it is difficult to find contractors and it is difficult to, you know, kind of determine who's doing what and all that. Like the flip that I did, you know, recently, we wanted to do a backsplash. It was, you know, I had to wait a few weeks for a tile guy that I knew was reputable. But I wanted to have it up on the market quicker, right? So it was like kind of taking that, weighing those options, and I ended up hiring a guy off Kijiji, and he talked the talk and had pictures of all the projects that he'd done before. And now I'm thinking that he just went online and maybe took some pictures there. And you know, he ended up doing a terrible job that I ended up having to. He came and told me that he could do it. I checked in with him a couple times, like, "Are you sure you're able to do this?" Yep. And then he ended up coming up to me when I was working in another spot in the house later on that day and said, "Hey, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this to the quality that you're going to expect," which is, to me, is just done, right? So and then I ended up having to tear all the tiles that he did off the wall and then remud it and paint it so the professional guys could come in anyways, right? So, I mean, you know, that was a smaller job. It didn't really break the bank, but it cost me about $500-600, right? You know, kind of taking that time. So it's, you know, it's always at your own risk, and you kind of got to weigh the options, weigh the alternatives, right? And figure out what's the best case.
I know, like you mentioned pictures, right? It's hard to tell, you know, even if it was a job that they actually did, sometimes the photos don't really show what you really want to see. No. So I'm working with somebody right now in go ahead, Brad. What was that?
Oh, I was just elaborating on the whole pictures things. You see it all the time. How many houses do you look at online that are listed and you're like, man, that place looks really good. And then you get there and you walk in and you go, whoa, what happened here? And I'm wasting my time.
And can you smell this? Can you smell, like, you know what I mean? You walk in there and you start smelling the mold, or you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that there's a contractor that I'm working with now, and one of these flips I have, and it's my first time hiring them. But what I did is I actually went and walked through one of the jobs that they were working on before I decided to hire them, just to see how they keep the job site, right? Are they cleaning up after themselves? Are their guys doing what they're supposed to be doing? Like, what's the finished product look in person, right? While the job is going on, not just the completed job. Because I want to make sure that it's his crew that's doing it, right? You never know nowadays when you're, out there. There's people that are not always going to be honest. So, like they say, trust but verify, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny one day if you're like, "Oh, can I come see one of your jobs?" Yeah. This job over here. Come at 7:30 tomorrow night.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, like, another thing with pictures too, it's so difficult to tell detail from a picture, right? Like actual close-up detail, because I mean things like tiles and all that, like from, you know, it could be terrible, but from 10 feet back in a photo, it looks great, right? Like, but
right.
So
yeah. No, you guys are right. This is a good conversation. I mean, I think it's very valuable just to kind of, talk about our own experiences with renovations and contracting and finding things behind the walls, right? Like, it's like, and again, like, what kind of product we want to put out there, right? What do we feel good about? Because really and truthfully, when the doors are closed and it's you and your contractor or whoever in there, you can do whatever you want because you're only selling what people can see. But I think it's so important to actually do it right, spend the extra money, do it right, and then that way you know that you're offering a product that is actually going to last long, and you don't have to, again, have the internal conversation with yourself like, oh man, like, did I just screw this person over? Because you know what goes around comes around, right? 100%. And I'm a strong believer of that. So I think, this is good. I mean, I like to, have people like you guys who have pride in your work, and I like to work with people like that. And that's how I think this whole growth will continue to grow, right? How you can continue to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On that note,
Like I said, all contractors are bad. It's a matter of
no.
making sure you do your due diligence, right? So.
That's right.
But just like Cali said, trust but verify.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. I like that line. I'm going to use that more often. We are up at half an hour here. If you guys want to just kind of sign off and end her for the week, or if you guys want to keep going on this topic too, that's all right with me.
We'll save this topic for a week when Alex is on, because I know he's going to want to hop in and talk about contracting. I want to ask Alex and Brad and all of us for not this week, next week. Well, a little cliffhanger. Should you pay hourly or by the job?
By the job.
Next week. Tune in next week.
Next week. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I'm Shawn Gunther, and I'm out here in the Moncton, New Brunswick area, and definitely, if anybody's looking to buy, sell, or invest here in New Brunswick, give me a shout. 506-800-4289, or on Instagram at the Moncton Wholesaler. You guys want to go ahead? One of you?
Yeah, Plume, Gray and Bruce County, as well as KWC. Working on flips right now. But hit me up anytime if you got any deals happening. Love to talk. 9379-7911 or brad.plume on Instagram.
Awesome. Cali Braithwaite. Just want to say a big shout out to one of our number one supporters, Mr. Daniel LeBlanc out of Moncton, New Brunswick, and a wonderful contractor. I've had great success with him. So if you're in the East Coast, Maritimes, Moncton area, you want to get some stuff done, give Daniel a call. Daniel LeBlanc, Homes on Homes, or LeBlanc on Homes, I think he goes by.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Cali Braithwaite out of the GTA. Thanks, everyone, again for tuning in. If you want to contact me, the number's there, 289-207-5316, or on Instagram at Grow with Cali, or on Facebook, again, Cali Braithwaite. Currently actively working on flips. And if you ever want to reach out to just kind of talk to me about some of the deals I'm working on and how you could get involved, I'd be more than happy to have that conversation with you. And catch us next week, 3 o'clock, Friday. We're going live to share with you our story, our journey, and we want to hear yours as well. So make sure to join in on the comments, and thanks a lot, guys.
We're going live.